Hello and welcome to my first ever FIFA 13 squad builder, and today I'm going to be bringing you a 20,000 coin budget Barclays Premier League squad builder. Moving straight into this, as you can see we're playing in a 3-4-3 formation, so every player I'm going to be getting is in the 3-4-3 or is made to go into the 3-4-3 formation. And moving straight into my keeper, I went to go buy Brad Friedel, managed to pick him up for 900 coins, which I think was a pretty good buy for him. And one of his outstanding stats is he's got 83 handling as well as 83 positioning, as well as him being a huge 6'2", so he's definitely a good rock to have at the back, and from my experience playing with him he's been very solid. In my kind of right centre back position I have got Shawcross from Stoke, another kind of monster at the back, and luckily for me, as you can see here, I managed to pick him up for 500 coins on the market. So unfortunately he isn't in the 3-4-3 formation, so as you can see I purchased him in the 4-5-1 formation, so I therefore had to go ahead and buy a formation card, but I've kind of incorporated the cost of that into the full price. As you can see, I've got a kind of ticker tape at the bottom right hand corner of the video telling you the full price of the whole squad. So Shawcross plus the 3-4-3 formation card came to a mere 500 coins, which I think was an absolute bargain for him. He's another 6'3", so far my two players I've got in the squad so far are both above 6 foot. As you can see what I'm doing here, I'm going to have a very large and intense kind of back defensive line of this squad. So the thinking behind this was that even though we've only got 3 at the back, if we've got 3 really tall and really strong and competitive players like above 6 foot, then we're not going to be that vulnerable to set pieces such as free kicks or corners or anything like that, as we'll obviously have the height advantage over the majority of other players in the game. So if we've got big guys at the back, then it should make our defensive duties a little bit easier. Moving on to our other centre-back, the actual centre-back here, we've got Hangeland, and he is actually a pretty well rated, 81 you can see there, Fulham player. I managed to get him for 650 coins in the 3-5-2 formation, so obviously once I'd added the formation card of the 3-4-3, which is once again able to be purchased for 150. Overall he came out at 800 coins, which I think for a really big and solid centre back is definitely an absolute steal. If you think about it, in a normal FIFA 13 Ultimate Team game you can earn between like 300 to 500 coins, so less than 2 games or around about 2 games then you can have Hangeland. So that's pretty decent if you do ask me. One of his kind of outstanding stats, as well as him being 81 rated and overall being really good, like especially heading wise and defensive, he's actually 6'5", so with Shawcross on the right hand side at 6'3", we then have Hangeland at 6'5", so you can see they're very tall and very defensive minded kind of 3 centre backs here. Moving on to the final centre back is actually Manchester United's Smalling. I managed to get him for 950 in the 3-4-3 formation, which I think was pretty good, seeing as that was a formation I was actually wanting to go for. See, there was a few people on the market actually trying to outbid me, but I did manage to get him for 950. And I think for someone from Manchester United, I know a lot of their players do kind of get bumped up in the price due to, you know, supply and demand and people wanting their players. 950 I think was a really good buy, but obviously I do have a lot more players coming through which are absolute steals. Talking of steals, going into the right midfield position here, and this is one of my kind of more favoured buys on how cheap he was to actually get. As you can see, it's old Pennant from Stoke. And one of his kind of outstanding stats, as well as me being able to get him for 350 coins, you'll see here on the market in the 3-4-3 formation, which was even better. One of his kind of outstanding, the thing which really appealed to me, as well as him kind of linking up with Shawcross, is that he actually has 88 pace and not too bad 3-star skills on 3-star weak foot. So with the chemistry there, I think it worked out very well. Okay, moving on to our centre mid. In the right centre mid position, we actually have old James Milner from Manchester City. He was a bit more expensive than my few of the other players I brought, but did manage to get him for 800. He's not incredibly kind of amazing, but he's a very good kind of holding centre midfielder. As you see, he's got a 4-star weak foot, which is very, very good, and his passing is actually 84 rated, so he's kind of the one which you want to give to the ball and then have people making runs around him for him to then find that killer pass. As you can see here, the guy partnering James Milner in the middle of the pitch is actually Fellaini, that big Belgium. He was definitely the more expensive of the players, the most expensive player I've brought for this squad. It's actually 3,800 coins, but obviously he's a 6'4" with 82 defence and 83 heading, so I kind of thought it would be a good defensive-minded centre midfielder, and would work well with my back three, just give them a bit more stability. Down the left then we have old Matty Jarvis from West Ham. He is actually incredibly fast and has a very, very good weak foot. Managed to get him for 750 coins, which I think was ridiculously cheap for him. And as you can see here, he's actually got a 5-star weak foot and 91 pace. Incredibly pacey then. And obviously as he's blasting down the left mid, and he is right-footed, he's got a 5-star weak foot, so there is no bother with him trying to swing it across on his left foot. In the right wing position, we've got Danny Sturridge. Managed to get him for 1,000 coins, a bit more expensive than I was hoping to purchase him for. As you can see, he had a little bit of a bid going on there. But he is once again another kind of big 6-footer for my squad. He's actually 6'2", and once again very, very pacey with 90 pace. You can see the whole right hand side of my ultimate team is super green chemistry, so that's really, really pleasing. So as you can see, the right hand side very pacey and should be able to link up quite well. Moving on to my left wing then, I have old Oxlade-Chamberlain, the man on the front of FIFA 13. Managed to pick him up for 1,300 coins. You can see it started at 850 when I joined the bidding, and there's a few people kind of throwing their bids into the hat, and 1,300 I think was pretty good for him. His stats wise, he's very, very impressive being a left winger. He has got 89 pace, so as you can see there's quite a lot of pace in this squad, especially down the wings is what I was going for. So down the left we've got Jarvis in left mid, and then if he's linking up with Oxlade-Chamberlain, Chamberlain's got 89 pace and Jarvis has got 91 pace, so they'll definitely be able to link up quite well. And Chamberlain also has a 4-star weak foot, not quite as good as Jarvis, but still very, very useful to have. As you can see, he's also got 4-star skills, so definitely one of the highest skillers in my squad. Moving on to the big man at top then, the kind of striker, we have Demba Ba from Newcastle. The reason I went for him, I wanted a big guy, big kind of target guy in the middle. Managed to pick him up for 1,500 coins, which I think was pretty good for, you know, big kind of target man at the top. He's another 6'2", and he's got 81 heading, so definitely going to do what I want him to do, be the target man, and hopefully be able to get a few cheeky headed little goals as well as a few with his feet. Moving on to the subs then. Obviously the first person I'm going to be going for on the subs bench is going to be another goalkeeper. We decided to go for Mark Schwarzer, and 400 coins I thought was really good, really interchangeable with Brad Friedel. That was what I was going for in these subs and reserves. Obviously you want to be able to rotate both the teams, like everyone on the team, in order to keep them nice and fresh and not fatigued. He had his 6'4" and 80 reflexes, so very good. Another centre back I managed to get Williams for 300 coins. He is once again another 6-footer, bang on the money of 6 foot, and has 83 heading. So obviously very once again able to swap with anyone in the back like Shawcross. Obviously not quite as tall as them, but with the heading ability that was exactly what I was going for there in the back. Third sub then, I decided to go for Rodwell from City. Managed to get him for 300 coins, which I thought was ridiculously good value, because he is in fact a 6'2". 6'2" seems to be the height of many people in the squad, but he does in fact have a 5-star weak foot. And I thought for 300 coins to get a 5-star weak footer in centre mid, really good. And obviously you can swap him in for Milner or Fellaini if you feel Fellaini's been a bit slow and you want someone to be a bit more of a playmaker. So that was really good. Next person is Hoylett from QPR. Managed to pick him up for 700 coins, and once again he swaps in really easy with Jarvis down the left. once again, he is a 91 pace. So both him and Jarvis exactly the same pace. So it's just really personal preference who you want to be playing. I decided to just go with Jarvis just because of the chemistry with the kind of English nationality down the left hand side. Next person is Johnson. He's a bit more expensive than anyone else, and especially very expensive for the bench. He's 1,600 coins. He gets some good stats for that price. He gets 86 dribbling, as well as 4-star weak foot and 4-star skill. I do think he was quite expensive for what he was, though. Obviously, you could easily put him into the squad, but I decided he ended up being on the bench. Swapping in, you can swap him in with Pennant, but I kind of felt that Pennant was probably the bit of a better shout. He does have 89 pace, but it's kind of it's personal preference. For the price of Pennant, if you're just looking at buying one of them, I think I'd definitely recommend going for Pennant. Scott Sinclair then was the next person onto the bench, and I managed to get him for 800 coins on a buy it now, which I thought was really good value. 89 pace with 4-star skills as well. So once again, getting quite a lot for your money. He does also have a 3-star weak foot. So again, down the left wing, I still prefer the Oxlade-Chamberlain. He's got 4-star weak foot, and Jarvis has got 5-star. That's kind of what I look for when I'm going down the left, because a lot of the times I think they might be cutting in and or just swinging in on their left. The reserve striker, the sub, is Kenwyn Jones, another big muscly kind of centre forward, which was kind of the theme I was going for as my strikers. Managed to pick him up for 600 coins, 650 coins, sorry, and once again another 6'2" and 86 heading, so very easy to swap him with Denver Bar. It was just personal preference who I put in the starting lineup. Joe Allen then managed to pick him up for 600 coins. Hasn't got any standout stats, but after playing with this team for a little while and subbing people in and out, I think he's a very well all-rounded player and definitely kind of sits into the midfield, and you can use him kind of as the playmaker to kind of pick out the long balls just through to the strikers. The last reserve then we've got is old Victor Moses, and I managed to get him for 400 coins. Really good value. He also has 4-star weak foot and 4-star skill. I actually did find myself swapping him for Sturridge and actually using him on a wing swap in game. So I'd probably prefer now, after playing with the squad for a little while, start with Victor Moses over Sturridge. But for this, I decided to just put him on the bench just for stats reasons. So we're at 18,400 coins at the moment, and we need a manager. So I managed to pick up Sir Alex Ferguson in a 3-4-3 formation for 1,000 coins to finish off this squad builder, coming out at a grand total of 19,400 coins, then just below the 20k budget builder price which I set for this squad. I'd highly recommend that you go for this squad and kind of give it a try out. If you have enjoyed the video, please leave a like and maybe a favourite and share it around and all that good stuff. And I'll see you guys later for another video.